Hey everyone, Jason Cole here with RCGroups.com, and we're taking a look at the new Hacker Nexus hybrid paraglider wing. So this wing is huge. It's 4.33 meters or 170.5 inches in imperial, and it's a hybrid wing. So what that means is where some of the smaller wings like the Hacker Free that I've got or the Flare, they're single skin wings with ribs. So there's just a single structure that makes up the wing. So full-size paragliders all have double skin cells, and it makes them more efficient, a little bit faster. But it can make them trickier to launch and maybe less stable depending on the design. So there are full double skin RC paraglider wings available. But what Hacker has done is created this hybrid technology so that's partially single skin in areas and then partially double skin cells in areas. And what it really does is gives you the advantages of both sides. So it's easy to launch, it's really stable and safe, but it's also got stellar performance and a great glide ratio, and it will thermal and fly off the slope and do all the things that you'd want a paraglider to do. So it's really just a unique thing, and I think the design and the color scheme looks really great. The quality is amazing. It's made by the German company called Swing, who's one of the top full-size free flight and powered paraglider makers in the world. So we know that these guys know what they're doing. The quality is awesome. The construction is superb. So it's really, really nice. And Hackers also provided some great equipment for the power pod as well. So we've got a Hacker A30 8XL V2 motor. We've got their 55 amp speed controller. They sent some Savox HV Metal Gear digital servos. We've got the Paramixer, APC props, aluminum control horns, the seat, the harness, the metal cage, everything that that I need to put this together. They provided, except for the receiver and battery. So on the receiver side, I'm using my Jetty DS14 radio, and with the I'm using one of the MUI 75 modules so I can get real-time telemetry down to my radio. I'll be able to see the amperage, voltage, capacity used, motor runtime, all this data. I can get right on the radio with alarms and everything. It's really nice. And the construction of the model basically takes an hour to 2 hours, depending on your experience level. I've built a few of these before, so it went really fast for me. But it's very easy to do. It doesn't take very long. It's basically just putting some nuts and bolts together and attaching things. And then what I wanted to do was I like to stand out a little bit with my model. So everybody has probably seen Woody flying the powered paraglider. I got that idea from Lee at Hacker USA. But Woody is perfect on there. But because the Nexus is such a large wing, I figured it was appropriate to make it a tandem. So I picked up another Jessie from Toy Story along with Woody and used a spare harness that I had and created a little tandem setup. So they get to fly together, and it just looks really neat and fun. But I think it really helps add to some of the realism, but it just makes it a little bit more fun to fly when you can see the pilot and recognize them and just really enjoy that experience. So that's kind of fun. But as far as the flying goes, this thing is awesome. So the takeoffs are really, it's important that you lay your wing out properly on the ground just to get a good layout. It's flat. It's going to come up straight when you apply it. When you apply pressure to the lines, you want to make sure you're doing it into the wind every time. But you're basically just going to give it a good tug and a little run if there's no wind until the wing comes up overhead. And then you're just going to power on and let go, and it's off in the air. So steering this thing is just pulling brakes left and right. You're actually controlling the trailing edge of the wing. So when you pull right, it decreases the trailing edge on the right hand side. It kind of pulls that down, creates drag, and initiates a turn. And you can do aerobatics with the Nexus. You can do wing overs and spins, and I did a helicopter with it one time, so it's still very aerobatic capable, but at the same time, it's also very docile if you want it to be. And if you're on flat land, you can just motor around and have fun and do aerobatics and cruise. And if you want to try to catch some thermals, it'll certainly go up in some lift. And then the guys who live near slopes, it's going to be great on the slope soaring sites. You're just going to want to add ballast that's appropriate for the wind speed. So as the wind picks up, you just add more weight to make it fly. And as you add more weight, it becomes faster and even more agile in its control maneuvers. So just something to think about there. But I think for the total price of this package, we're somewhere north of $1,200 for everything. It's a really good deal for the quality of what you're going to get. This is top-notch stuff and construction, so I think it's well worth it. It's one of my favorite things to fly. Absolutely am in love with the Nexus wing. So I wanted to thank Lee at Hacker for sending this out for the review. We will have our full written review with lots of photos and information on rcgroups.com. You'll be able to find that link in the description of this video. And we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.